early hours of the 15th of January, 2013, some of the residents of the small community of Saltsjöbanan, about 18 kilometers east of Stockholm, Sweden's capital city, were in for a shocking wake-up call. It wasn't an alarm clock, it was a train plowing through their residence. What could have caused such a terrible accident? Find out in this episode of Diesel Disasters. The Saltsjöbanan is an electric suburban rail system in Sweden. It operates between the capital, Stockholm, and Saltsjöbanan to the far east of the country. The network runs through 18 stations and is 18.5 kilometers in length. It is for the most part composed of single-track operations, with a couple of passing loops. It was opened to passengers in July of 1893. Equipment used on the system is close to what you would find on a metro system. EMU consisted of sets of 2 or 3 C10 and C11 stock, built between 1975 and 1976 by Allmänna Svenska Elektriska Aktiebolaget, or General Swedish Electrical Limited Company in English. The last train of the day arrived at Negringa Station, 1.7 kilometers west of Saltsjöbanan. The engineer then coupled onto a nearby consist. The rail traffic controller went off duty as per protocol, as there is no train service at night on the line. The switch control system, however, left switch movements free. This too was a normal procedure on the Saltsjöbanan. This allowed for a multitude of work to be completed through the night. Some of the work that had to be done that night was cleaning of the units as well as some small maintenance work. This would be carried out by a shunter and a cleaner respectively. Due to snowfall in the area, the shunter, which I assume is a conductor or engineer, saw the snow accumulation and how it could make the brake blocks freeze to the wheels of the unit. He resorted to using an unauthorized and hazardous method due to a non-functioning electrical cable, which would have been used to have brakes released without the activation of the train controls. He put a brake block onto the dead man's switch. This released the brakes. He then closed the doors. This basically made the train dead. However, the throttle was placed in the full power position, making this train a ticking time bomb. The shunter helped the cleaner with whatever she was doing before making his way to the workshop to print off documents related to maintenance. The EMU keys used by the driver were in the lock mechanism. When the shunter was done printing his documents, he was shocked to see the units were gone. Along for the hellish ride was the cleaner, who was cleaning the units. One of the important tasks that she had to carry out was the sweeping of sand and dirt off of the passenger door guides. This is crucial for the proper operation of the doors. To make sure that the doors work correctly, the procedure calls for the cleaner to go to the operator cab and close the doors. When the cleaner closed the doors, the tractive power was engaged. With the throttle in the full power position, the train accelerated. Shocked and confused, the cleaner was unable to stop the train. Realizing the danger she was in, she took cover behind a seat next to the operator cab. The next 2 minutes must have been terrifying, as the train reached a speed of 80 miles per hour with before slamming into a residential building at the end of the line in Saltsjöbanan. The 20-year-old cleaner suffered serious injuries in the accident. She was later accused of having stolen the train, but was later acquitted of all the charges. The section of track between the two stations was closed for repairs until September of that year. Factors in the accident. 1. The shunter insisted that the way he chose to release the brakes that night was not insecure. He even stated that it was an efficient method to take when equipment was deemed out of service. 2. A switch that is made to prevent runaway trains was not set properly on the day of the accident. The operator stated there was no rule in effect to tell in what position it was to be left in. In most cases, it was left in the last used position, used by the incoming train, to make its departure the next day easier, and to minimize the risk of snow and ice blocking the switch's position. This accident could have been prevented had the shunter not been so careless. Hopefully, the cleaner is doing okay. Luckily, nobody died in the incident, but it could have been much worse, especially if it would have occurred during the day or at a busy rush hour period. Thank you for watching this episode of Diesel Disasters. If you have a suggestion or a recommendation for an episode, don't hesitate to let me know or send me a link.